So one of the things that I love to do when learning is to write. Taking notes, summarizing information. It helps me think. There's something profound about grabbing a pen and paper and just letting your thoughts flow. But in recent years, that whole process became sort of a luxury for me. It's far better to take notes on your computer. It's faster, it's easier to organize things. There's also evidence that there's far better ways to learn than summarizing and taking notes. Which got me thinking, what's really the problem with summarizing information and taking notes in the first place? Quick notice before we begin, all key points are lined out with timestamps in the description. I think that the best place to start is our understanding of summarization. What is it? It's a form of note-taking. Then the question becomes, what is note-taking? And I think that the best answer is the same, but said in reverse. Note-taking is taking notice. Taking notice of things that are important, interesting, draw our attention. And in which case, summarizing is taking notice of such things and making sense of them by bringing them together in a sentence or three. And there are at least two things that we'll learn from this definition. First is that there is a specific goal to summarization. In 2001, educational psychologists David Craftwell and Lauren Anderson published a revision of one of the most valuable educational mottos, which is known as Bloom's taxonomy. What we learn from this motto is that summarization helps us with a very specific thing, which is acquiring greater understanding of things, concepts, different notions and ideas. But we also learn what is it not good for, like actually remembering what you understand. And I'm making this point because there's a lot of evidence showing how ineffective summarizing is when revising for an exam or being tested on summarized material after a week. That's because it isn't. It's not meant to be used for that. So if you just want to stick in all the things into your memory, then summarization probably won't do. But if you're dealing with new, complex material, topics that you're not necessarily familiar with, then it's definitely something to consider. Good. How do we do that now? In 1979, a research team from the University of Arizona tested 4 different ways for taking notes. The result? Only 2 of them proved beneficial. Now, despite the fact that one was called summarization and the other one was called paraphrasing, students achieved essentially the same results by virtually doing the same thing. The first was as follows. You read through a full page of your material. Then you put into your own words that which you found most important. In short, no more than 3 lines. Now, the second way is the moment that you encounter something important, you write it down, again in your own words, and again trying not to exceed 3 lines. Which is not necessarily a rule that you have to follow, they just had that one for the experiment. Now, the first one they called summarization, the second one they called paraphrasing, but however you call them, both methods work for the same reasons. First is putting things into our own words. This is an intrinsic process and it takes effort, and it means that we are working on making sense of things. This is also compared to just copying things from the same research, which proves not to be as beneficial. Now, whether we decide to summarize after every page, or after every paragraph, or every time we encounter something that we find valuable, I think that's highly dependable on the text, and I guess our own preference? Maybe there's more to that as well, something that I may explore in a different video. So if you're anything like me and enjoy writing things down, it helps you think to understand things, then go for it. That's what summarizing is for. And if you need to capitalize on memorizing material or something related to other levels of Bloom's taxonomy, then the answer may be slightly different. You can leave me a comment. What are the things that you do, or maybe lack in skills, abilities, something that I can delve into and help you with in future videos. At any rate, at this point, I thank you sincerely for watching. Keep it bright, and I'll see you guys next time.